Hello.
Oh, oh my gosh. Are you ready?
I am so ready.
Okay, good, good, good. Are you able to turn your camera so there is a white background? Or do you want to move? I'm limiting how much is in the way behind you.
Okay, adjust background and effect.
You can blur it if you want,
Yeah,
but
I'm
I want to make
downloading the
sure it's
smart
not.
package.
Okay, yeah, I want to make sure that if you do blur it, it's not going to be one of those things where it's like blurring out your tools and stuff like that. So
Okay,
and then
let me try right now.
sure, go for it. Do it, do it, do it.
Okay, so let me see. Virtual backgrounds, none, blur.
Do you sorry about that.
Um, nope, that's okay. Mm, so I could probably hold it right up in front of my face.
All
Let
right, you
me
know what? If it
see.
starts blurring out what you need, then we'll figure it out. We will figure it out. No worries. Yeah, it does want to blur it.
Yeah,
Take out the blur. Yep.
take out the blur. Let me see if
Yeah.
I can. I have a green screen. Let's see if I can download. I'm trying to think. I don't. Let me. Let me no, I have this. No, I have this. Um, huh. I
Stress about it. If it's gonna be a big thing, don't stress about it.
Yeah. Well, I'm saying because I have like a brick wall here, but I have to like move a bunch of things, and then I'm not like I can move stuff.
I think you're okay. I think we'll be fine. I just want to make sure they can see the products that you're going to be like showing them and stuff too. So yeah,
Yeah.
that is going to be better. I like that.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Just make sure you're always like holding them up to the screen and giving them a second to like, yep, to like write it down. Did you provide or would you be able to provide a document with all these little products written down? So if they don't
Um,
write them down,
I can do that for after,
okay.
and I also
Yeah,
sent
yeah.
you like an outline of like what I'm talking about.
Perfect. Let me
So,
share something with you and then I just need your approval on it. It's a really quick, just check this document here. And
I
yeah,
could.
anyone with the
Did you?
link, copy. Go for it.
No,
How are you
no, that's not
feeling?
blocked.
Are you excited?
I am super excited. So
Right.
I found out like a bunch of really awesome options for um, in place of like pore filler, people can use like aloe vera gel, which is something that people really commonly have for burns and stuff. So the idea is to find like these are replacements, for that are usually commonly in the house and used for another thing that can also double for being used um with your face and stuff like that. Either
Love
makeup
it.
removal or something like that. Moderator, hi everyone. Mm.
Perfect. Okay. My blur is very good.
It's been building bullet create purpose really specializes his connection. Can't wait to hear from him.
Mhm.
Well, we'll have some time Q&A at the end, so feel free to drop questions in the chat. Damien, take it away. Thank
How's
you
it
so much
sound?
for being. Yeah, that sounds great. And then you'll right there, okay, at the end, and then class description.
And then your bio.
Okay, awesome.
So do I need to edit anything from that or does it
No,
look good?
no. Yeah, it looks good. I'm
Okay.
probably gonna put my dogs in. You've already lost your thing. Let me put my dog in the bedroom.
You're good. You're good. We still have 12 whole minutes. You're good. I'm going to use the restroom. Get some water, babe.
Okay. Yeah,
Get some water.
I got some right here.
Good. You got your water. Excellent. I'm going to work like right after this. I'm like fitting it all in.
Oh, really? That I'm going to work right after this too.
Yeah. Like no rest for the wicked, as soon as I get done with this, it's like hop clothes on, run to the as soon as I get done with my work day. It's the VIP party. Are you coming? You have a free pass.
Oh, yeah. What time is that again? I want to.
Yeah. So it's gonna start. I think we let people in at 6:30.
Okay.
If you
So,
go to our pass app, oh God, of course, I burnt myself today. So I have this little ouchie, which I think I can cover up. For some reason, my water is lay missing. I'm ready, man. I'm excited.
yeah, me too.
I've
Me
been,
too.
planning this for so long, and I
Now
think
it's here.
it's like it feels surreal. There was so much that went into this, planning. Well, we've got over 40 or 50 speakers, 50
Yeah, I
presenting
know
people.
I shared the website around and stuff like that. It's funny is I shared it with Elizabeth, Liz Henson, and she goes, "I'm pretty sure I know the person that's running this," and I was like, "Yeah, you do. You introduced me to her. She booked me." She keeps forgetting that we know each other.
That concept that we all, God, that's so funny.
Yeah,
Right. Well, we bonded right away.
yeah,
It
I
was
know.
like right
So,
away. Right. You got your water?
yep, I got my water, I got all my stuff laid out. I had like brushes, but I'm like, you can also use a Q-tip, if you just can't afford brushes, like, you can use Q-tips to like blend and stuff like that, but sponges are fairly
You have
inexpensive.
thought of everything. Perfect. Oh my God, I love that. Okay, well,
Yeah.
listen, this is our practice session.
Okay.
Um, your everything seems to be working on your end. You are fully prepared. You're ready for this. You're giving back your creative energy and talents to your community, your local community, your building community by doing this. And I'm so grateful to you for taking your time out of your life, which I know is very busy, Damien,
Okay.
to like give back.
Mm,
It means a lot to me to do something that's good for the community with somebody I care about. And it's so cool to
thank
like
you.
yeah, to like to give you a platform. So cool, cool. I'm going to let this practice session end and I'm going to start opening it up for people who are about ready to get into the class. I think we can start letting them in a little bit early. So we'll see. Mm, you're welcome to this session. Let me see here. Deep breath. Yeah,
I always do this before I go out.
I love it. Talk me through it. Breath in. Out.
Breath out. A deep breath in, hold for a couple seconds. Make sure you purse your lips. Slow breath out. Hold for a couple seconds. Positive affirmations. You got this. You know what you're doing. You've done this 1,000 times.
Yep. And people are going to learn so much from you. And also, you're validating just people, who are wanting to be involved in this. You don't know that somebody in the audience may have always wanted to do this their whole life and just never had the opportunity to even learn from a person about it.
Mm-hmm.
So, all
Yeah.
right, I'm exiting out of this.
Okay.
All right.
See you on the other side. Was I to exit out? No.
Nope, you're good. You
Okay.
did exactly
Is
as you need.
my my video of me going to get bigger on my end? How do I do
Go to the upper right hand corner, click on the three dot. I think there should be three dots on your video. You should be able to pin yourself.
that? Okay. Pin. Boom. Awesome. Yes.
Okay,
That's
perfect.
what I need.
Excellent. All right. Gonna lower that down. We've got perfect amount. Got this. And
I have a
then
VPN and I had to make sure to cancel my kill switch.
oh,
It's like, no, don't do that. Let me
okay, well
know
maybe I
whenever
need
we're
to
live.
delete. Okay. We are currently recording. So just so
Yeah.
you know, this is gonna record everything. And then we'll be sending this recording to our attendees.
He'll
All
edit
good.
it and stuff.
Mhm.
Is this going to be so after Indie Design Week is over and stuff like that? Are you guys gonna have these videos saved on the website? Are you gonna
Yeah.
upload it on YouTube or something? How's that gonna
So that is a good question, which I will assure I'm gonna get the answer for
work?
you.
Okay.
So but I think they will be available to our attendees. I don't know if we're making it fully public, but I am
Yeah.
gonna put that as question to ask Tori, question for Tori. Okay.
I think maybe even highlighting some videos as a promo reel on YouTube with a link would probably
Oh
be
yeah.
smart to help get that out.
Oh yeah. Available. Okay. Let me quickly send out a message. Will these recordings be sent out to? I think that they are going to be able to log on almost immediately. I will turn my camera off for the majority of the of your talking, so nobody's distracted by my face.
Okay.
And then when it is about 10:55, Alexa, set an alarm for 10:55. I'll give you a 5-minute warning.
Good morning, Michelle. 5 minutes, starting now.
Alexa, stop.
Yeah, that way I can have a bunch of questions, right?
Do you want me to give you a 10-minute warning?
Yeah, give me a 10-minute one.
Okay.
I sent you pictures of my outline. I got greeting, what I'm using today. Let's get started, or let's get started. Removing your makeup, and then in closing.
Perfect. All right.
And I know like people might not be in here, so I'm just gonna, and then if people come in, I'll greet them, or will I see
Okay.
them come in?
We have 10 people signed up. And we should be able to see everybody. But I don't think can get in until at 11.
Okay, perfect. Yay, 10 people. That's awesome. All right, 1 minute.
Okay. You got this. We're just gonna kill it and everybody's just gonna love you because everybody just loves you. It's
Yeah,
just
I know.
the way it
I
is.
always like focus. Good for my ADHD.
Oh, thank God. Okay, they are canceling me for work today. This is good. This is good. All right.
All right, it's 11.
All right. I need to stay tuned to my email to make sure that everybody's able to get in.
Okay.
We're gonna give
And
them
you're
5 minutes.
okay, and you're gonna do the thing that you sent me, and then I'm gonna take it from there, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Awesome.
Hi, Joe. I'm gonna go ahead and add you to the coffee meetup. Let's let we should schedule and record it now. Hi, Jenna.
Hello.
Hey, Jenna, just so you know, we're gonna allow up to 5 minutes for everybody to kind of get on, and then we'll start an introduction, and then we'll get going. Okay, Jenna? Well, she might be having difficulty. She pop right back on. Let's make sure attendees are coming in. Hopefully we didn't just lose. Oh, there. Okay, there we go. There we go. Welcome, Sophie.
Hello.
Yeah, this is exciting. What do you love about doing drag so much? Like, okay, here. When was the first time you ever did drag? How old were you?
So I
Where were you?
was actually a tattoo artist at at a shop down in kind of Greenwood, Indiana, and I have always wanted to do male presenting drag. Um, and I would go through stages throughout life where I would kind of like paint a beard on my face, or do a mustache or something like that. And whenever that kind of happened, I'd take pictures, and I'd be like, oh, this is really cool. And then I kind of have this like kind of weird feeling, I guess. And then I kind of would take the makeup off, and then I wouldn't look at the pictures. I wouldn't delete them, but I wouldn't really look at the pictures. And I never really kind of unpacked what that was. I just kind of moved
Yeah.
on, right?
Oh,
And then I'm working in this tattoo shop, and the
that's me.
okay. Um, then I
Mhm.
kind of, was working at this tattoo shop, and this person, they identify as non-binary now, but they came into the shop, and
Alexa,
was they
stop.
they did the huh?
I was telling Alexa to stop.
Uh,
yelling at me.
they did the commercials for the shop, and we're just talking, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I do drag," and I was like, "Oh, like I would love to get into that." And they did female presenting drag, and so we make a plan. I get down to their basement, before we start, they were like, "Just for the record, I want you to know that some people think that they want to dress up and pretend to be this other gender. And some people, through doing that act, realize that they're this other gender." And I was like, "Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, whatever." And they're just like, "Okay, just letting you know, you're going to do a deep dive into like who you are."
Wow.
And they
Wow.
were not lying. They were not,
And so it
So I
changed
did.
your life?
It really did. It saved my life, actually. Um, I, did it. They were a photographer, and so I would do makeup. I was actually pretty good at it right from the get go. I have a degree in fine art, and so I understood like contouring and all of that pretty quickly. And they would take professional looking photos for me, and we would just smother the internet. And so by the time I got ready to do my actual first drag performance, people had already seen my photos for like a year and a half leading up to this event. So people were actually kind of like, "What do you mean you've never actually done drag? Like, what are you talking about? I see your like you guys have merch and like all these photos and stuff." And I'm like, "Well, I've, painted my face and took photos, but I've never actually got on a stage and performed in front of people." So that was really exciting. And I started doing that probably like I originally did drag, realized I was trans, and then had to like kind of pause until I could sort that out, get therapy, get on HRT, and stuff like that. And so I took like a year probably to adjust to all of that. And then I came back for, there was a drag calendar that came out a few years back. And so I reached out to my friend and was like, "Hey, I want to do some photos and I want to um, try to get into this calendar." And I did get into the calendar as the month of December.
Yeah. Wow. Wow. Well, thank you for sharing that.
Yeah. Thank you.
I love. And we've got a couple attendees in here, but I know we have about 11 signed up for the class. So we're going to just go on ahead and let those people trickle in, but without delaying.
Hmm.
Hi, everybody that is currently here. Welcome. It is officially Indie Design Week. And we've put a lot of love and planning into this. We're so happy that you're here. Thank you for supporting us. Thank you for supporting the community. Just so you know, like, everybody that's in charge of making Indie Design Week happen, we're all volunteers. This is a volunteer-based, community-focused event with venues throughout the city. So we have a lot of events this week. Any of them you want to come to, please check them out. Just go to your Exo Pass. You can check out day by day what events are available to you. My name is Michelle Hurdle. I am the director of programming. So I was in charge of putting together the schedule and getting the talent. And so hopefully you guys like it. We are from like UX design to fashion and architecture to drag artistry. We believe in the power of design, and design is everywhere around us. It enhances the beauty of our surroundings, and that makes better for all of our lives. So now on to today's feature. I'm not going to delay and keep on talking. Let me introduce you to Damien, also known as Hunter Little Daddy on the socials. And Damien is an amazing drag artist, very well known in our Indianapolis local community for the work that he's done. Has a very powerful story. Reach out to Damien on any of his socials. He is the proud father of the House of Waffle here in Indianapolis. And so since 2020, he's been building very bold, very creative performances that he focuses his root into self-expression, resilience, and connection. So I can't wait to hear more from him. I'm going to stop talking. We'll have some time for Q&A at the very end. So feel free to drop any questions that you have in the chat and we'll get to those at the end. For right now, Damien, take it away.
What's up, everybody? I am Damien, also known as Hunter Little Daddy. How long have I been doing drag? I've been officially doing drag about 3 years. So that's when I first got on a stage and did a performance for the first time. I started putting drag makeup on. I don't know if you're here in the beginning, but I always kind of had this thing, even when I was a little kid. I was having my mom put mustaches on my face for Halloween. I never was really interested. Once I could make a decision for myself for my Halloween costume, the dresses came off. And and I was having my mom put a mustache on my face or make me a beard and stuff like that. And I've kind of gone through my entire life where I would have moments where I would kind of, do a mustache, take pictures, feel really good about it, and kind of get this awkward feeling, and then kind of, not look at the pictures. And I never really unpacked that, just would kind of move on with my life. And then, one day, I'm a tattoo artist, so hence all big ink. And so one day I'm working at a shop. The person, they are Kimber and identify as non-binary. Kimber is their stage name. And they did the commercials kind of for that shop, and, we're like, hey, I do drag, for fun. And I was like, I always want to do that. So we get down to the basement to, start taking kind of, pictures and talk about it, stuff like that. And that's when they were like, hey, just, want to let you know that a lot of people get into this and they think that they want to pretend to be this other gender. And then a lot of people, through that act, realize that they're this other gender. And at the time I didn't put much thought in it. I was just like, okay, let's move on, cool. And then started painting my face and doing a photo shoot. And they are professional photographers. So I loved that photo shoot. I was just really just in love, like right out the gate. And that's when, so I dive right in, I was very strapped for cash at the time. I struggled to, just have a job. I PTSD from military service. So just was struggling a lot. So I had to find really innovative ways to accomplish the looks that I was trying to accomplish. Um, doing my face designs and stuff like that came relatively easy for me, probably because I have a degree in fine art. So I understood contouring and stuff like that, color theory kind of already. So that was a big benefit for me. And and it will be helpful as you just explore drag more and more. Just looking into those things are just going to be really helpful to kind of elevate that look. So we did, eventually, I realized I was trans. It just kind of got harder and harder to take the makeup off. And that's when I kind of had to take a step back, explore, who I am at the core, and this kind of thing that I had been running away from my entire life. I was 38 when I started HRT. Has changed my life infinitely for the better. Absolutely 100% saved my life. So drag saved my life. And that's why I wanted to do this class, in case there are other people that just really want to explore this, but it can be so expensive. So I wanted to kind of give really good options that, of different things that you can use that are probably in your house already or double as something else that you can use for something else. So it's not like you're only using it for this. So you'll have multiple uses for it, which is really useful on our wallets when we're struggling. I am the father of the house of Waffle. Kimber is the mother. They go by a different. They are clown persona now. Drag evolves, let it evolve. Don't stick yourself in a box. Definitely like let it evolve. Have fun with it. I've taught um, a few different artists and performers in the community, basic contour lining. That's what I'm gonna go over today. How to follow the natural lines of your face to make a good male presenting drag face. What am I using so I'm going to use I got some makeup supplies I just want to run over that I think are really useful to have, and that's going to be like a sharpener. This one doubles, it's got two if you can afford it. Some makeups will come with a little sharpener, so if you're struggling, which is happens, you can buy some of those to help have that sharpener already built in. I have a mirror. I'm holding, this is holding it so it doesn't move, but I have a mirror, and this mirror is gonna be, a magnifying mirror and stuff like that. Is around $10 or something like that. This fan I got at the dollar store, you know, and that's gonna just help dry your makeup a lot faster when you're applying it. Um, I will say if you do get one of them from the dollar store, I had to use something. The thing that holds it breaks relatively easy. I think I used paper clips and just, you know, put them on the end there to help hold it together. So, but that was like, I think $1.25. Hair clips are really useful, not necessary, but if you have a lot of hair, it's going to be really useful to kind of get that hair out of your face, so you can apply your makeup and it doesn't like stick in your makeup. Tools. I got sponges. These are going to be relatively inexpensive, you know, and you can, I say dampen them a little bit. If you don't dampen them a little bit and like really squeeze all the liquid out, all the water out, then it's really going to suck your makeup up and you're going to use a lot more of that makeup. So definitely just dampen them a little bit. I squeeze them really hard and then take like a paper towel and kind of squeeze it in there a little bit to really remove any excess water and just have it a little damp. Brushes. So you can use all different kinds of brushes. These can get expensive sometimes. I've even found discounts on like, various discounts and stuff like that on just painters things. Like if you're really strapped for cash, you can go that route. You can also use Q-tips for a lot of different blending options and stuff like that. So, you can really get creative when you need to. So those are options. Baby wipes. Baby wipes are good. Makeup wipes are going to be good. Having a, makeup wipes are really good for backstage stuff. Not long term because you have to sometimes really wipe on your face. And I'm going to go at the end about like how to properly remove your makeup, because I definitely didn't know how to do that. That no professional makeup training skill, like classes or anything like that I took. So I would just aggressively wash my face off. And I actually damaged my face pretty bad a couple times. And so I'm going to go over that at the end. Now onto like makeup, lead what we put on our face before makeup. Pore filler. Now this can be expensive. I think this is like 15 to 20 something dollars for this. And you can only use it as like a primer base. So something else that you can use that's going to be a lot cheaper and also is useful for other things is actually aloe gel. This is good for skincare. This is, says right there for exquisite skincare, oil free, 100% aloe. So definitely, do that. And that's going to be good in place of pore filler, and you can use it for burns and stuff like that as well. So that is a good option when you're just strapped for cash. Eyeshadow palettes. So I have a couple that I wanted to show. We got some inexpensive ones. Why I like eyeshadow palettes is because you'll have various colors that you can work with for contouring and stuff like that. This one I dropped and it broke apart and it leaks in my bag. So, but yeah, it's got more of it's got a lot of browns, blacks, and stuff like that. Or if I want to use that, so that one's really good. My favorite, honestly, are gonna be um, this brand. Let's see if you can see it. I will provide kind of a breakdown for everybody with these, but these are it's Juvias place. This is the Rebel Honey palette. So I really like these. They are really bold. This is the Rebel Army palette. So greens, we got the grays. As you can see, I really enjoy these. And the blues. And these are really great because you can do a number of things. This is for, typically eyeshadow and maybe some, other like shimmer on your cheeks and stuff. But you can use these to contour your entire face and to do blending. So if you have a certain look that you're kind of going for, a certain vibe, a feel, there's a certain theme, these are an awesome, amazing choice to kind of elevate your costume at a fairly inexpensive cost, so that's really nice. So they offer a lot of different things, and it works as eyeshadow too. So for your everyday, if you wanted to just go out, look nice. And then of course, mascara. A lot of people in drag will use eyelashes and stuff like that. I personally never have because I have a thing with I don't like things on my eyes, and I knew that I would just constantly be messing with it. It was an OCD thing of mine. So I personally didn't, but if you were going to do that, or even if you weren't, and you just wanted to like curl your eyelashes to give them more of a flare, then this is at like the dollar store. It's fairly inexpensive. It kind of breaks down like this, and then you curl it. If you're gonna do eyelashes, curl them up is gonna be really useful, even if you're not going to. So, contour pencils. They have a lot of pencils like this where it's like black here, brown here. These are going to be really, really awesome because you have two different colors that you get to cover it, two different colors that you get to use, two different ends. So you just get more uses out of it. And then I like using I buy a lot of eyeliner pencils because the one thing that I don't really kind of play around with is my eye makeup. I only use eye makeup on my eyes. I have seen people get, not eye makeup in their eyes, and it was not a pleasant experience. So that's the one thing I don't really I spend the money on decent eye makeup. If I have the money to spend, that's where I'm going to spend it because your eyes are important. So And these double as also, you can use them for contouring and blending and stuff like that to do various designs. So you can use it on your eyes, you can use it on your face. That's why I really buy a lot of those because it has multiple purposes. And then setting spray. They also have setting powder. I personally have never used setting powder. I always use setting spray, but it's a preference. I know that the powder, I believe, is more for uh, oils or cream basis, I believe. Again, I have just kind of, my dried makeup, and I was like, oh, I think this will be cool. Another thing that I found very useful for tools is going to be using AI actually, you know? So let's get into it. Using AI, you can kind of ask it to find makeup that you can ask it to find inexpensive makeup in your local area. So that's why I think it's a really useful tool. Today, I'm just going to keep it very simple. I'm going to use black to kind of contour my face. I typically use black. I blend it out, stuff like that, for my particular looks. So that's what I'm going to kind of do. That way, you guys can also see it. Usually, I will go over the lines. So for drag king makeup, we want to really kind of add a thing. What I do is kind of follow like my hairline. Let me get my hair stuff out. So I think it's really important to follow your natural curvature of your face. You're going to get a lot out of that. So if I want to learn where these lines are, like where my cheekbones are, usually what I do is I set and then I would follow that line. Typically, if you don't have giant face tattoos like I do, you'd want to follow like this is a good way to measure that when you come under that cheekbone. And then you'd want to kind of do a line down. I typically now would start from like that. Then I would start like that. I think it's important to practice. There is going to always be one side of your face that you're going to struggle with versus another side of your face that's going to be a lot easier. Find out which side that is and start with the side that you're going to struggle with, because the side that's easier, it'll be easier to match your struggle side. So always start there. And then I personally follow my lines, but you can get creative as you're going. We're just doing basic stuff. So I would follow this. I'm actually going to start with brown, so we can. So I would follow like this. And you want to kind of come down. What you're doing is you're kind of creating this brow. Use my mirror that I specifically got out. And I've done kind of all different kinds of looks. I've done, you know, where it kind of comes down and stuff. I kind of come up here because I'm typically going to do really big, bold eyebrows that are going to kind of come up. I will kind of outline like where they are. I typically, lots of people go above their eyebrows. If you have big eyebrows, you can use glue to kind of glue them down so they don't get in place, and then put foundation and stuff like that to kind of cover it. if you have the money and stuff. I have used foundation for certain looks, but when I started out, I really didn't have the money. I also totally forgot to put the aloe vera on. I just got right into it. So again, if you don't have the money, I you can just put the makeup on and stuff like that. So a good measuring thing too for your eyebrows, if you want to kind of, not be crazy dramatic and stuff, or you want kind of a point of where to start, is kind of like going like this and then using it to kind of make a point. Boom. And then going like that is going to be really good tool to help you start with that. All right. I find it helpful sometimes to put my finger here so I can hold my hand more steadily as I'm doing various makeups. Another thing is when you're doing your drag, you want to kind of outline nail contouring, you want to outline your nose. So it kind of brings it forward and drops everything kind of back. So now how like far you want to go, how you want to do that, that's really up to you. Experiment. Don't stick yourself in a box. See what you like, what works with you for you and stuff like that. That's why I always I've done clowns, I've done uh evil doctors, I've done cowboys. Um, the arch, if you want to follow, so where your pupil is, look straight ahead, and then you want to kind of line that arch up right around that point. So that's a good way to kind of see where that arch is in your eyebrows. All right, getting somewhere. This you want to follow down here, and then you're going to get to a certain point and just pull that down. Some people like to go really far out, straight down. I like to do mine more angled. It's really a personal preference and what you like in your style of drag. Now, if you really want to get cool, technical, like I have very pronounced kind of where it comes up and down, up. And sometimes I've gone in there and lined it with my liner and down here to just really add definition to my lips and stuff like that. Um, it depends on kind of what I'm doing and stuff will depend on that. And then I will do a mustache, but I want to kind of get everything blended and started. So I'm going to use this silver palette for my eyes and stuff. So I'm going to use Q-tip. So there are various things that you can uh, do for your eyeshadow and stuff like that, and how you layer it and build it. I like to do my darks on either side, and then in the middle, I like to do like a shimmer or a lighter color and kind of blend that out personally. That's just what I have grown to really like as my drag has evolved. So So I'm doing just kind of a rough, basic outline of like, okay, this is where this is going. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to blend that all in together um, once I get my stuff fully established. And then that is gone. I always like to have baby wipes, are pretty inexpensive, so you can get your extra makeup that might get on your hands off so you don't smear it on your face. Okay, so all right. So I used in the trash. I used this to kind of add that darker, and then I'm using this really shiny silver in the middle and kind of blending it out from there. And I use the other side of the Q-tip. See if it, all right. Okay. So now I need to fill in all of my stuff and blend it out. So for my eyebrows, I typically just fill those in. Sometimes I'll add like some color, add a little bit of a flare to it. So in this case, this blue. And then I'm gonna I use the contour kind of built up, but faded it out. And then I'm gonna kind of come in with the blue. Pretty cool. Now I am kind of pulling this way so I don't just like jam it in so I don't destroy my tip because this is a gel. So it's super soft. It moves on really smoothly. Then I'm going to go back to the black. Kind of blend that in. I like to kind of have a split in my eyebrow. So I've done this a lot. Kind of like that. Another thing that you can do too is add kind of like contour right in here, kind of like right at your temple area. And then you kind of want to, it's like kind of a triangle type. That's just going to help kind of push that back and push your eyes forward. Q-tips are also great for if you kind of need to clean up a line. It's going to work a lot smoother. So I'm using the Q-tip to kind of blend what I've done now. Sometimes when you blend, if you don't put enough product on your face, you'll lose like a lot of, what you had and stuff like that. That's the Q-tip. So it just means you need to put more product on. Everybody's skin's different, so if you start blending and you lose like a huge, a bunch of your makeup, that just means you need to put more makeup on when you're blending, or the tools that you're using to blend with are sucking your makeup up. So what I'm gonna do here, got little hairs in my way, yep, is add a lot of black here. That way, when I blend it out, I have a lot of black to hold from. So go around like that. And then I'm going to use brown a little bit right next to that black so I can blend it out to a nice brown. I'm having to use more makeup product because I totally forgot to use that aloe gel. So now again, using a Q-tip, I'm going to start blending this out. Got little baby hairs that just don't want to. Now, let's do a little bit of silver. So we're kind of mixing in my eyes, kind of giving it a shimmer. Blend this all. So I use basically one side because I start picking up a lot of the makeup, so I could help blend it out. And then when you want to kind of really soften that blend, I would say use the other side and kind of work from the skin exposed out to kind of give that a softer blend. And that's going to pick up makeup, and then you kind of blend that the rest of the way. Nice little. All right. And then really that's what get all this kind of matching my sides. All right, there we go. And then I'm kind of just pulling that down from that line, then pulling it up and pulling it back. Like that. This out. right, now we're gonna move on to this. And I'm just gonna kind of pull on that line to pick up some of that makeup and then pull it down. I like to, I don't really cover my tattoos when I'm doing my makeup. I do my makeup around them because I like the way it looks. So there we go. Awesome. So there we go. Now the other side. Does anybody have any questions while I'm doing this that I can answer while we're on finishing up?
Feel free to put any questions in the chat. If not, we'll just continue.
All right. So take these out, put them there. And then I do that for my eyes. I really like using a brush to really kind of blend it all together. And what I did, blend this to the eyes and up and down. Like so. And then eyeliner, eyeliner before your mascara. And mascara. I do not use the curler because I barely have eyelashes. typically for my look, I will contour my neck and kind of black out my neck as well. Um, but this is kind of the basic for following, your skin, where to contour and stuff like that, follow your natural lines, and stuff like that. Some people, I've done a line like here as well, kind of contouring. Um, so, you know, it's really like you want to play with what you want to play with, and stuff like that. I think it's the main objective is to really have fun while you're doing it and to, experiment. Don't stick yourself in a box. Make sure that you're, you know, finding inspiration, whether it be in your music or if it's in, art, stuff like that. My drag son, um, is got a degree in art as well. And he used his drawing style and incorporated it in his drag, in his costuming, and how he designs his face and stuff like that. So it's very iconic to what he is doing. I like doing this mustache. I forgot to tell you guys how I do it. I kind of just follow. Some people like it connected. I don't. And then when I was talking about that outlining, is like that, which can give you a really pop art look. You can outline your lips and stuff and kind of come down where it kind of ups like that if you wanted. All sorts of stuff. Does anybody have any questions?
We got one raised hand here, and that would be Jenna. Jenna, go for it. You should be allowed to speak. There you go.
Um, I was wondering, like, are there any like YouTube channels, or books that you would recommend for really getting down the basics if we're very new to like makeup and things like that?
So there are plenty of how-to videos. I forgot to say you'd want to use lock-in spray to lock everything in. After I'm gonna wipe it off. I have work, so I'm not gonna do that. But yes, there are tons of videos out there for like male drag contouring. My big inspiration when I started was Landon Cider. He won Dragula. So Dragula's an alt drag, which is primarily what I do. Um, alt drag type of scene, and that's going to be like monsters, horror, stuff like that. Not your typical like pageant queen drag. So I drew a ton of my inspiration from Landon Cider, how he designs his face, his color palette, stuff like that. Highly recommend checking him out. He is the winner of season 3, and he is a drag king that lives in Southern California, I believe. But yeah, there's tons of videos. Explore as much as you can.
Thank you. That's exciting. Okay, is anybody else? Oh, Sophie, go for it.
Hi. My question was, do you ever perform in your drag king persona? And if you do, how would you describe your performance style?
So, honestly, I've been all over the place with my performance style. I've done comedy. I've done like a crazy clown, where I kind of ran around and point behind people, and when they looked, I'd grab their dollar and run away. Fun stuff like that. I've also been a kind of a cowboy. So in the beginning, I was trying to feel out like, who am I? What does drag mean to me? How do I go about that? Stuff like that. So in the beginning, I was really kind of all over the place. My first performance, I actually tore my meniscus 24 hours before the performance. So I had to completely change up what I was doing because I was doing it on crutches. Uh, Now I definitely lean towards more political being a trans man. I've definitely have done more political based performances that just show vulnerability and kind of tell a story of what it's like to be trans and the struggles that we face, politically, socially, and stuff like that. So just to kind of raise awareness for my community, and yeah, so that's probably where I really land mostly. Currently working on a piece with a local producer that is, highlighting being trans and trans joy, um, and stuff like that. So thank you.
That's so awesome. Is there anywhere we can watch you perform?
So I have performed at, I don't know if you know what Kinker is, and Beelzebub. So they are a friend of mine. I've taken private dance lessons with them. I've performed with them at the White Rabbit many times. I've also performed at Almost Famous on their stage. I have performed at various other, places around town. Those are the two main ones that I've performed at. Um, and then I'm trying to think because I feel like I've performed at a couple other places too, but I can't think of the names. The performance that I'm currently working on is with Beelzebub for a Kinker. Oh, I've performed in Bloomington at the back door a bunch of times too. So Beelzebub has booked me. Now I'm more a professional fire dancer, so I do a lot more of those performances now than I do drag. If I'm getting in drag, I'm usually doing a political performance or a political piece.
Thank you so much, Damien. Just so this doesn't cut us off, which it might. Just thank you everybody for showing up to this session. Thank you so much. We're glad that you guys came. Indie Design Week is a community powered event series, and we're here to celebrate designers, elevate you all, and anywhere from fashion design to drag, So thank you all for coming to this. They're going to be just a little quick thing that you might want to be aware of in case you're interested. This week we have the Indiana Donor Network panel is this coming Thursday in the afternoon. And we're unveiling a stunning memorial that honors over 25,000 Hoosiers that are tissue and organ donators who have help save and heal the lives of like 1.3 million people. So our local artist
Awesome.
Quincy Owens is the one who created this 4-story tree of life and immersive like elements in there. There's like virtual reality. It's really wild what they've done. I encourage people to go and at least just check it out, see what it is. There'll be a panel event. You won't want to miss it. That'll be all for today. Any of the videos that you guys are looking for after this, these videos will be made available to you. You can get on YouTube, and within about 48 hours, those should be uploaded. The materials that we had Damien go over today will be attached in a document. We'll put that on YouTube so that you'll have a list of information. And the question that you had, we'll go on ahead and get that information answered as well. We'll put that in a little doc, and that'll be available on YouTube. Thank you.
Awesome.
This is the end. Thank you so much, Damien, for your time. Thank you, attendees, for coming. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.